Coming up on First at 4, details are just coming in about a deadly boating incident on Lake Cumberland. And children who participated in Camp Noah received donated bicycles from Kentucky State Police.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News First at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Hensley. First at 4, a couple of breaking news stories. First, out of Pulaski County, where 2 people are dead after a boating accident. The coroner says a boat and jet ski collided this afternoon on Lake Cumberland. We're told it happened near Braunston, just south of the Woodson Bend boat dock. Right now, authorities are not releasing the names of the people involved. We're, of course, keeping a close eye on the situation there, have a crew headed to the scene, and hope to bring you more information later tonight on Mountain News. But again, 2 people dead after a boating incident on Lake Cumberland. More breaking news, and it's an update on a story we've been following for a few days about an apparent drowning on Laurel Lake. The Laurel County Sheriff's Office says a man appears to have drowned in the lake off Marsh Branch Road. Investigators think the man had gone into the water off a pontoon. They have been searching for several days, and we've just learned within the last hour that a man's body was found around 1:30 this afternoon in about 130 feet of water off Marsh Branch. Police say they do not suspect foul play at this point. Camp Noah participants in Knott County received a special surprise from Kentucky State Police today. Police partnered with Cummins Sales and Service in Hazard to deliver bikes to kids participating in Camp Noah. Public Information Officer Matt Gayhart says the partnership came at a perfect time as they wanted to give these kids a special memory.
We give them something to be excited about, but you know, since the floods hit last July here in the eastern part of Kentucky, our kids, at first, they had an overwhelming outpour of support. As the days and the months went on, that support obviously dwindles down. So our goal is to make sure we ensure that they know that we're here to help them in whatever they may need. And the bikes is just a small gesture that we can help pass along.
Some kids at Camp Noah say they lost their bikes in the July 2022 flood, making the surprise even more special. We'll have more on the giveaway tonight at 6. In Tazewell County, Virginia, a family is trying to find light in one of their darkest moments. The sudden death of 16-year-old Jacob Justice Donnelly broke the hearts of all that loved him. But his heart and other vital organs have gone on to save the lives of 4 other children. Earlier this month, Tracy and Jace Donnelly's son was critically injured in a golf cart accident. He was declared dead 2 days later, but he was eligible to be an organ donor.
We're blessed in the fact that we didn't totally lose our child. We know in New York, within an hour of them recovering his heart, is already being replaced in another child's chest.
The family says Jacob's organs saved the lives of 4 kids, all under the age of 18.
Warm and toasty for most out there today, and yes, we're watching a couple of downpours developing in parts of the region. You can actually see one of them from our Buffalo Mountain camera here in Perry County, at least in the distance there on the left side of the image, and over on the right you see a couple of those fair weather clouds trying to bubble up into showers and storms. Oh, giant wasp. In any case, it's just a wasp on the camera. They're not taking over the world yet. Low to mid 80s out there as we head through the afternoon at the moment from our Pikeville Medical Center camera. Yeah, scurry away there. It's a little creepy with plenty of cloud cover there. Upper 80s to near 90 in many spots. It is warm, it is humid, and it feels every bit of July 14th outside. Watching, we talked about a few of those downpours, one not far from Williamson, one south of Pikeville along 460, and another couple in Dickinson and Buchanan counties in Virginia, likely dropping some heavy rain. These are not severe, but still keeping an eye on them. North of downtown Hyden, still watching one moving down the Hal Rogers Parkway that could impact Hazard here over the next little bit. So as we head through your forecast first this evening, yeah, we'll be dealing with those downpours for a little while longer as we slowly fall into the low 70s, a mild and muggy overnight, and apologies for any jump scares out there this afternoon. Steve, I'll have the latest on hopefully a less waspy forecast in a few minutes.
Well, if the audience wasn't awake, they are now. Thank you, Evan. The World Health Organization's Cancer Agency has labeled the artificial sweetener aspartame as a possible cause of cancer. But a separate group of experts looking at the same evidence still considers the sugar substitute to be safe. CBS's Tina Kraus has more on the new research.
It's 200 times sweeter than sugar and the world's most widely used artificial sweetener. Aspartame is found in about 6,000 products worldwide, from diet soda to flavored water to yogurt. The World Health Organization's Cancer Agency now says aspartame is a possible carcinogenic, citing limited evidence for a type of liver cancer. But according to its own hazard classification, confidence in the assessment was low, admitting more research is needed.
And this shouldn't really be taken as a direct statement that indicates that there is a known cancer hazard from consuming aspartame.
Another group of experts from the WHO's Food Additive Committee concluded there's no convincing evidence aspartame is dangerous if people don't consume more than 40 milligrams per just over 2 pounds of their body weight, meaning the average American would need to drink more than a dozen cans of diet soda a day to be at risk.
Results do not indicate that occasional consumption should pose a risk to most consumers.
Do you drink things or eat things with aspartame?
Sure. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Former U.S. Surgeon General Richard Carmona says it's a safe alternative to sugar.
And obesity accelerates just about every disease, whether it's cancer, type 2 diabetes, hypertension, and so on. And so there's a reason that we want to reduce sugar consumption.
But experts also advise making healthier choices like drinking water is best for overall health. Tina Kraus, CBS News, London.
The American Cancer Society is calling for more research on aspartame and advising consumers to watch their intake. Intense heat in Greece prompted leaders there to shut down the Acropolis, but just for today. The Acropolis is an archaeological site and home to the Parthenon Temple. The site was closed to visitors in the afternoon due to the heat wave Greece is experiencing right now. Police and emergency care rescuers provided help for tourists. Temperatures reached 107 degrees there at midday today. The Prime Minister of India has been awarded France's highest honor during a state visit surrounding France's Independence Day, known as Bastille Day. The Legion of Honor is regarded as France's highest national distinction and is awarded in recognition of military and civilian merit. The Indian leader said he accepted the honor with great humility, extending thanks to French President Emmanuel Macron. Japan's space agency reported a combustion abnormality during a rocket engine test today. The Epsilon S engine test began this morning, but 57 seconds after ignition, the agency said that an anomaly had occurred. A video of the incident showed a large plume of smoke rising from the test center. Fire officials say no injuries have been reported. Two men in Mississippi who say they were tortured by police are speaking publicly for the first time. Their attorney says they would not recount what happened when speaking to reporters out of respect for the ongoing investigations. CJ LeMaster reports.
Nightmares. Every time I go to sleep, I'm in a dream where we got something to do with a gun, somebody pulling a gun, somebody getting shot.
That's how Michael Corey Jenkins describes his life now, even sleeping close to his family out of fear something will happen. Jenkins talked to reporters Thursday, the first time he's talked publicly since a Rankin County deputy shot him in the mouth January 24th. But what else happened that night remains alleged as state and federal authorities keep investigating. Jenkins and Eddie Terrell Parker maintained they were tortured, abused, and sexually assaulted over the course of more than 2 hours by 5 Rankin County deputies and 1 off-duty Richland officer. 3 on Your Side has identified 3 of those officers through public records requests and court documents: Brett McAlpin, Christian Dedman, and Hunter Elward. The police chief in Richland confirmed the name of their former officer, Joshua Hartfield, last week. Jenkins and Terrell filed a federal civil suit against those officers and Sheriff Brian Bailey, but criminal charges have yet to be filed. Parker hopes that happens soon.
Let me know that at least, somebody's held accountable. Somebody understands and believes that not only criminals, get to get prosecuted, also officers that break the law.
Attorney Malik Shabazz alluded to the possibility of officers being indicted during the interview.
grand juries for criminal prosecution. I cannot confirm to you that they are in effect right now, but I can tell you that actions from state and federal grand juries will be your next news items.
The victims say the torture and abuse occurred in January. Coming up on First at 4, wild weather puts on a show in one Canadian city.
And shower and storm activity, at least more of it, returns to the mountains a little bit later on. I'm tracking the very latest after this.
Every 40 seconds, someone in the U.S. suffers from a stroke.